Let me try and fix this. Hello. Hello, can you hear me now? You guys can hear me? Rebecca said it's better. Nice to know. Imagitories also said yes. Thanks for being here. So I think we can start now. Today we're gonna talk about the various versions of the game, especially the past, the present, and what's next for the version for the future of Cupid Simulator. We're gonna talk a little bit about this. This is also the last stream of the year, and also the last stream for a while. We'll stop doing the streams after this one, so it's kind of a goodbye for now, and also a thank you so much for you guys being here and following the development of the game. It's been a wild ride, and I thank you so much for following us on the development. And please keep following us. Follow us on the Twitter, Discord, and other media, other social media, so that you can see how the game is going to finally be like. So let's start. I'll just show some versions of the game, how did the game evolve from the start of it to the version we are at the moment. Everything started in 2016. The first version of the game was started at 2016. This here was the first title screen for it. As you can see, even the name was different back then. It was called Fertilio, which was the name of an angel for fertility. That was the main concept of the game in the beginning. She wasn't even a Cupid back then. She was just an angel who had to work with humans so that they could have more children. The story was that there was a crisis, a populational crisis, and the angels had to do something to improve the humans' natality. So they sent her, which was her job to do this. And the version was very different from now. It was a puzzle game. It was not farming sim. It didn't even have much of dating simulator elements. I think I have some other screens here. We had this very many humans, and they all had different tastes, different things that they like and that they hate. It's in Portuguese here, but I think you can understand the words here. Ama is love, and odeia is hate. It was the things that every human liked and hated. So we had to work with them, to go to places where they were, and kind of try to do stuff so that two of them could talk to each other, and they could talk about what things they liked, what things they didn't like, and if they matched their tastes, they would start to grow their relationships. There was also this other part here, which is kind of just shows the relationship level of the couples. of this guy Ren and Saeko. The it means that this part here shows that they had a lower, they had a low relationship level at this point here. The same one as Yoko, as Ren and Yoko at the beginning, but it has this, it had this focus on the fertility. You can see from the baby here on image. Rebecca she's saying, I miss the babies. Okay, they're kind of cute, like they're cute. So yeah, I also miss them, but it's not something that's a focus of the game. There are some major limits that we had to consider by the story and the design, which was that mostly the couples that Fertiliao, the angel, would create would be male and female, so only heterosexual couples, because the main goal of the game was to make many babies. So we thought this was very limiting, and a lot of our players would not relate to this, and it would be excluded to people who other people who express their affections differently. So we really think it's a step forward to remove this focus from babies, and that's also the very reason that we changed the game's name and also the protagonist's name. As you can see, as I have told before, she was called Fertiliao, which was the fertility angel, so it was not appropriate anymore whenever we changed the focus of the game. But we learned some things here. You can see that the humans' names on this version, this first version, we used Japanese names because of the focus of anime. The game was very focused on an anime audience, so we thought it was appropriate. However, we had a lot of feedback saying that these names were difficult to remember, were not very relatable, sorry. And so we decided to change the names to English or Portuguese or whatever language the players is playing the game. It would be much more easier to remember and to relate to them. Hello, Shariazu. Nice to see you here on the stream. So this was the very first version. It was back in 2016, and after this we kept working on the game, and we, by the things I have told before, we changed the design. There was another version here that we worked on, which was which had this new title screen. We didn't change the name yet, but you can see that the main character's design changed so much, and also her halo on the previous version was square shaped. It was a square, so this new version didn't have this square shaped halo. It had a semicircle. It was different because we really wanted to, by the story, we really wanted to show that she was a different angel from the others, kind of like an incomplete version, because she had a kind of a debt to pay, and there's a lot of backstory involving this. So it was kind of something of shame. It was a sign of her debt that she had the different halo than other angels. So that's why. But we didn't keep it square, but we changed it to a more semicircle version on this one. And also you can see that the halo is also on the title, on the logo, on above the T letter, you can see there. And there's also we wouldn't be sure about how the game should play, so we changed a lot of we tried a lot of versions. Some of these versions did not last for long, but we tried a lot of things, even a battle royale version of the game, which was very, very different from what we would expect. And we're really trying to try different versions, different executions of the game. So that's one of the versions here. I think I have a screenshot here of the battle royale version. I think you can see it here. It was a prototype, so not very much pretty, or also not that much clear. We had this person here, the upper left girl. She's called Larissa, and she was a single girl, and then we had to find a suitor, a bachelor, to be her boyfriend, and also have children with her in the future. And you can see every guy has 3 elements. A little arm here, and a brain, and also a rose. This would be their attributes that they would have to face each other in challenges, and whoever was the last one who didn't fail any challenges would get to be her boyfriend. So it's kind of like a battle royale, but you'd not play as a guy, as one of the fighters in the battle royale. You kind of manage the battle royale to have the correct winner, the winner which had the most fertility with her. It was still on the idea of fertility. We tried this, but it was not very clear. It was very strange to play, and it was not very entertaining, so we scrapped it. So it was not the best idea. There was other version as well. We even tried a card game version. I think I have one image here. This one was back in 2018. It was very unique. I think it was a very fun version of the game, but it was also not very clear on how you played it. On this version here, on this scene here, we can see the 2 people. We didn't have graphics for their bodies yet, so they were just placeholder images here, and they were fighting. They were facing challenges. Up here you can see there's a park. There's 7 small dots which represent the challenges they would face on a date, and you had to kind of help them get through these challenges. And we had these cards here on the lower side, which could use to defeat the challenges. However, it was very focused on the humans. You played as Alia, but you kind of had to decide what the humans would do to defeat the challenges. But it was not so clear why you were doing this. Like, how could you control the humans? It was not something that people expect a Cupid to do. So we also scrapped this version. I think it was very fun, but not so clear on how could you do this, how did you manage the situation, the date. So we also scrapped it. The last version, the next version, was something I have talked about here in a previous stream. It was The human story version, it's a version I have also released here on the first stream. We did release it, and it was very fun. It was certainly one of the best versions, and it was very recent. We started doing it at the end of 2019, and 2020 we spent a lot of the year working on this version. This one is an RPG, a turn-based RPG with battles and dating sim elements also. You can see from this image here that we had much more graphics. It was much more well thought out. We changed the logo also. It was not called Fertiliao anymore. It was Cupid Simulator. It's the first version that we started to call Cupid Simulator. Rebecca said here on the chat, show us this challenge, please. This version was not translated to English, so unfortunately I don't think it's playable here on the stream. But the one I can play here is the Cupid Simulator version, because we do have a translation. I can just play a little bit to show you how it worked and how it works. It's also released and you can play it. It's you have the link below in the description, so you can check it and play if you like. We had so many good feedback about this, but we did not continue on this version because, as you guys know, I have explained it on the previous version, on the previous stream. It was very dialogue intensive, very focused on the narrative and the writing, and this is not viable for us in the moment. But I can play this version here. It's very fun version, and there's also a lot of stuff here. So let me see if I can get a version of this. Just a second. Let's see. Well, I don't think I have a playable version for this here at the moment, but I'm sorry. I can show you guys right now. But it was definitely a very good version, and it was very fun to play. And I think I can show you just some images. This here is the part where you have all the people attributes and their skills also here, and they have a skill tree that you can upgrade and to customize them to your liking, to your playstyle. And also there's the part where you can investigate the people's rooms. So by having more knowledge about them, you can better help the guy and the girls get together. For this version, it was just a couple you can make, but it would have much more chapters and you could make many different couples, but that was not possible because of our limitations. And there's also a small store where you can buy stuff from Grayshow. That's a character who will appear on the final version of Cupid Sim, and we're just changing a lot of the designs. So there's also something I want to show you guys. It was the evolution of the design. you can see the different title screens we did have shown you guys this, which was the first one, very old, from 2016, and then we did have a newer one, which new design for Alia, and also this last one here with all the other characters. We have here Alia Supervisor at the right, and Rachel and Alia, and the human Daniel, and other the three girls that you can match him. Oh, so that's the most graphically developed version, but we're starting right now with to the final version of the game with many different graphics, many different assets, and there's also, you can see the evolution of her design as well. This here was the first version of her, back when she was called Fertilio, which is you can see that she's very messy. She has messy hair, and she was a klutz, and very she wasn't very good at her job. She was kind of struggling to do everything, but she had a good heart. It was always the case, but it was a very different design. And then the next one we had for a lot of time. This is the version that appears on the human story of Alia. You can see that it's evolved in a lot of ways, and it's much more detailed and has the other vibe for an angel, with kind of more distinguished clothes, and it was interesting. I like a lot this design. And then we had the other one, which was a more recent one redesign. We changed a little her colors, especially her hair, and also parts of her clothing. But it's also going to evolve to a new design, to a final version that we're going to show you guys on next year. And this was the past of the game. We did have a lot of different tries to get the gameplay right, and also the visual style. But I'm very confident that right now we're much closer to getting to this final version, because we do have a team, a very well-defined team that we're working on the game, and these are the people we are working on it right now. We have Raquel as the art director for the game, and Tori as background designer. I think she's on the screen here at the moment. And we have George as an artist for the game. You have me as game designer and programmer, and Luan as sound designer, and Gabas doing the marketing stuff. So that's the Cupid team at the moment, and I'm so sure that we're going to develop a good art style, a great art style, and great gameplay. And this final version, will be the best one the game has ever had. And I think that next year we'll get back to you guys with a lot of news and a playable version for the game, especially. That's something I'm so excited to show you guys, especially with the new art style, the new art direction. I think it's going to blow you guys away, and I think that's it. There's not so much that I wanted to share with you guys, besides the past of the game and some things for what I believe we'll be able to show you next year. yeah, so if you guys have any questions, you can ask on the comments. And thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for being here in all the streams. You guys have been a lot of inspiration to me and a lot of help, a lot of support. I'm always trying my best to have good content for you on the streams. This one is kind of like a goodbye, and goodbye for some time. But next year we'll get back with a lot of news and with more interesting stuff, more varied stuff to show, a lot of new mechanics and features for the game. So I can only thank you guys and see you on the next year. Okay, bye bye.